and Asbury's Echoes is my cross-stitch Flosstube. It's mostly cross-stitch. I do other crafts now and then, but it's been a while. I haven't had time. I apologize. I'm hot, really hot, so I'm probably sweating. It's been really, really hot here and humid. The humidity has been pretty bad.
And you're gonna have to bear with us this episode because we lost our tripod. And then for the next video, we bought one. And then, like, prior to this video, it broke.
Yeah,
so
it's broke. So we're gonna have to, we're making do. We're good at that. That's what we do around here anyway, isn't it?
Good around.
Okay. It has been almost, I think it's been over a month since our last Flosstube, and I apologize. I didn't mean for it to be that long in between, but I don't know. I tell you, things just get busy between the garden and ball games. My grandson and granddaughter both are playing ball. They're young, but they're still have a lot of games, it seems like. And very few are local, so we have to travel to get to them, some neighboring towns. But between the games and the gardens and keeping up on all of that, which I'm trying to do, and all my cross-stitch stuff that I'm working on, and what else has there been? We went on a short vacation last week with my folks. We went to Grafton, Illinois. I'd never heard of Grafton, Illinois before, but my mom had found a place. It was a Verbo, and we had a lot of fun. The Verbo was, it was an old farmhouse that sits on like 70 or 80 acres. So we had a pond and a paddle boat, and Drew and Grandma and Grandpa and Dad went fishing, and Drew had
go fishing.
You didn't go fishing? No, but you took Grandma out on the paddle boat and she went fishing. Drew really enjoyed the paddle boat, and while they did that, I of course sat and got my stitching out. And they had a beautiful trails to follow, and it was a lot of fun to do that because there were things like you had to find the swing. Well, there was a great big tree swing out in the middle of the timber that we came across, which was a lot of fun. And there was Hidden Hollow, which was really cool because you're out in the middle of the timber and all the trees, and you come across this old yellow door with this really pretty stained glass in it, and you open it up and it's like this little hill, and it's a little hollow, and it was called Hidden Hollow, and she had a little table and chairs down there, and there was a little creek that
Hidden Hollow was called
Hidden Hollow. Yeah, Hidden Hollow. Yes, sorry about that. It just was fun, and they had a wishing tree. So in the kitchen of the house, they had a little box, and they had a sign that said to string some beads and take them to the wishing tree, and you could hang it on the tree and make your wish. And we found that, and oh gosh, what else did we find?
It was a lot. Different
trees. They had all the different trees marked so you could find those. And they had old farm equipment, which the men enjoyed. You walked along in this trail and come across farm equipment. And the walking man, he was an old part of a tree that had fallen down, you could see, and it looked like a stick man. He was kind of cool.
No, that was made from scratch.
That was the walking man. Well, part of it was an old log with a limb coming up, and then they had made that. And what else? Oh, there was Three Sisters. We found that little area, which was a nice little area with the seating. And anyway, we had a lot of fun. And then Grafton, Illinois, they had
Alpine coasters, which
Alpine coasters.
I put in the video of me on.
Of you on the Alpine. Drew and his dad went on the Alpine coaster, and we did the ski lift. We did not do the zip line. We talked about it, but we ended up not doing the zip line. One really fun thing was, as we were coming along, as we were driving down there, it was about 4 to 5 hour drive, and we came across a bridge, and the barge was coming through. It was crossing the river, and so we had to sit. We were the first ones in line, and we sat and watched the bridge. I've seen the bridges where they open, like this, but this one actually went up, and then the barge came through, and then it came back down. So we got to see that, and then we got to drive across the bridge right afterwards, and we crossed the ferry. I've never done that. And it was just it was a river, so it
And-
wasn't a big ferry, but it was still fun.
If you want to see all that, I have a vlog on my YouTube channel,
Oh, that's right.
which you can put in the description, because I bet you will find.
Drew videoed the whole trip, so he put everything on his YouTube channel. So if you want to see that, we'll put that down below and you can go watch that. But anyway, I want to keep this short and sweet because we have ball games tonight, and we're going camping. We're leaving Thursday, and so I've got all that to get done, and I know we haven't been on here for a while, and I've got quite a few things that I haven't shared. So I'm going to try and make this one short and sweet and share part of the stuff, and then hopefully the beginning of next week we can video again, okay? We can plan that. We can do another one and I can show the rest. So I'm going to get right into it. I just pulled out just a handful of things to show. I got this one done, and this one's in the shop, and this one is called Sunflower Row. I'm gonna have to remember what they're called. I didn't write it down. So this one is Sunflower Row, and it is done on my Nate Berkus fabric, the upholstery linen, and I did it 1/2, all DMC, and this one was dyed after stitching. Yes, I dyed this one after stitching. No, it didn't dye. It did change colors a little bit. So there's like a bird and a wheel, or a wagon wheel, and a birdhouse and some sunflowers. There's a kitty in there, but he's kind of hard to see. He's kind of hiding in the leaves of the sunflowers, I guess, and the fence. This, I have to say, somebody messaged me, and one of the things that they said was they like how my Iowa-ness comes through in my stitching, and I guess I never thought about that before. My Iowa-ness. I was born and raised right here, so I am definitely an Iowan, and I suppose I never thought about my stitching showing that, but this definitely is something you would see around here. An old fence and a birdhouse. I mean, it just is.
We have one in our.
In fact, there's probably a scene out there that I didn't even think about, that subconsciously that was what I was doing. But it's got the alphabet and the sun, and it just it reminds me of summer in Iowa, and I'm sure it looks like other areas too. But I just thought that was my Iowa-ness is showing through. I kind of like that. So that one's in my Etsy shop, and it's called Sunflower Row. And this is another one that's in my Etsy shop, and this one is called Ever So Humble. And it says, "Be it ever so humble, there's no place like home." And I live in a very small, it doesn't look quite like that, but just a little house that's got pretty much the same color siding.
Every video we say a very small house. It's 1,400 square feet.
It's
for
small,
reference.
but
It's
compared
not.
to other houses, it's a small home. Anyway, I'm glad you don't think it's too small.
It's not that small.
Sometimes it feels small. This again was done on the Nate Berkus fabric, and it was also dyed after stitching, and it's done 1/2. It's all DMC. I did put a little bit of trim, and this trim is a chenille, and it came from Purple Paper Mountain, and she has wonderful trims and wonderful prices, and she is very fast shipping. So if you're looking for trims, head on over to Purple Paper Mountain on Etsy, because she is great. And this board is something I had bought from Homestead Needleworks, pretty sure, and it was white. This board was white, and it's very rough. The back side is not. I could have used this side too. I don't know why. I just chose this side, but it was white, and I painted over it with some paint that I had here, just a little bottle of acrylic paint. I don't even remember what color it was. It was like a gray blue. And then I took the brie wax, and I will have to look and see what color the brie wax is. But once you put that brie wax over it,
And do the brie wax outside.
yes, do the brie wax outside, because it does have a smell. It's pretty toxic. And I happened to open it up here in the house,
lung
and
disease.
Drew was not happy with me because I had it open in the house. But do it outside, and it dries very quickly. And then you just kind of take a nice soft cloth and rub and rub and rub, and it gets really soft and smooth. And I love that stuff. I hadn't used it for years. I'd used it long ago on a lot of my frames that I was finding at Goodwill, and I forgot all about it. And then the Log Cabin Stitcher, she was talking about it, and I thought, oh, that's right. I used to use that stuff, so I quick ordered some because I couldn't find it anywhere. I looked in different places, and I know down in Menards I asked about it, and they had no clue what I was talking about. They had never heard of brie wax before.
It's not a crust.
Ended up finding it but it's a stain.
That's true.
I ended up finding it on Amazon, and it's a little pricey, but it's definitely worth it. So this one's also in the Etsy shop, and it is called Ever So Humble. And I really like the way that one turned out. If you look at that board, you'd never guess that it started out white.
It was white.
Yes, it was white. And this side is really rough, so it shows it's very primitive looking. I think I have another one. I should dig the other one out and then show the difference between the two, the white, and after I played around with it, I suppose. This one, I'm pretty sure I showed this. I had found this frame. I don't think I've shown this one before, have I?
I think so.
I know I showed the frame. I don't know that I showed. It's an old racquetball cover, is what it is. And if I have shown this one before, I apologize. It says home is the nicest word there is. And again, Nate Berkus fabric, stained after stitching. Yes. And it just fits in there. I just love this. If I ever come across any of these again, I'm gonna snag them, because they sit. You can set it very easily. You can hang it because there's a lip. I got this at Fiddle Dee. Yeah. So there's that one. And then moving right along, that's also in the Etsy shop. I started this series, the Blue House series. So I've done Blue Summerhouse. Let's see how that works. I did the summer one, Blue Summerhouse, and these again are all Nate Berkus fabric, 1/2, dyed after stitching. And I mounted these. I mounted it on, that's the Blue Summer House, and then here's Blue Autumn House. And these are put on sticky board with a little bit of Warm and Natural underneath. And then I took just a piece of, I think it was cereal box cardboard, covered it with some fabric, and then I did dye the fabric too, because it was a little bright. It wasn't the fabric I really wanted to use, but I decided to use what I have. So I had enough of this to do. I'm going to do 4. There's also going to be the spring and the winter. And then I'll show you how my backs are never pretty, so please don't think that when I finish things that they look nice on the back, because nobody sees that part. So I get in a hurry and I just want it done. So I put magnets on the backs for now, because I had this board, and I put magnets on this board, and this is a piece of plywood. I had found it up at the local antique store.
You bought plywood?
Yes.
At the antique store?
It was just a piece of plywood. It was a little bigger than this, and somebody it was not black. I'm not sure what color this one was. Somebody had painted it, and they had stenciled. I think one had a goat, one had a chicken. They were rough. They were really rough. And he had these sitting outside, and they were just coated in dust, and they were a mess. But I thought they'd be the perfect size, and the price was right. So there were 4 of them. I brought them home. I had Joe, he cut off a little bit of it, for me so that it would work with these. I painted it black. I put some of my brie wax over the top, and I think it works out pretty neat. So there's Autumn Blue House, and there is Summer Blue House. Now I've got 4 of these. So I am trying to figure out what I want to do. If I want to have 4 separate ones to display, or you could just display one, and then every season if you wanted, and you did it with the magnets, then you could switch them out. I could do 4. I could have all 4 of them. Or, I'm not going to show it today because it's big and it's heavy, but my newfound friend from Fiddle DD, she, I was in there the other day, and she says, I found this. She says, I'm not sure if it would work for you, but I thought of you immediately. And it's a piece of an old piano is what it is. And it's got 4 inserts or insets. It's real dark. It's brown. It's real dark brown. And the 4 insets, these fit perfectly. I said, Lori, I think that will be perfect. So when I get them all 4 done, I am working on winter right now. I'm not sure when I'm going to get him done because I've been doing lots of things, been very busy. I might have to, that might be how I display them. Have all 4 of them on this, but it's long. Is it as tall as me? Not that that's saying much. I'm not very tall, but I don't think it's quite as tall as I am, but it's pretty tall, and so I'm not sure where I display it because it is heavy, but I think it's going to look really neat when I get them done.
It's a little over 300.
So there's, I don't know if you can see them. Whoops. There's summer and there's autumn. Okay, so that's all I have to show you today as far as cross stitch, because like I said, I want to keep it short and sweet. Oh, and I lied. I thought I'd show you what I'm working on.
So this is the one we've been running around the house for the past 20 minutes trying to find.
I couldn't find it.
It was on the table.
I have so many things going on right now. I have to say, there's something we're working on, and I can't say what it is. And I've got a friend who's helping me. She's really, really gung-ho, and that's what I need. I need somebody to keep pushing me and to get me to branch out, because I'm excited about this, and she is too, and I don't know if anybody else will be or not, but it's something new that we're going to try that I'm working on. So I've got a couple of different stitches that I'm working on. Usually I'm a monogamous stitcher, and this is driving me crazy.
What is that?
Because a monogamous stitcher, I stitch one thing and I start it, and I can't do anything else till I finish it.
I'm not that way.
That's just how I've always been with my stitching. I'm not that way with life in general, but with my cross stitch, I've always been that way. I start it and I finish it. Then I go on to the next project. And I may find something while I'm stitching that I think, okay, that's what I'm going to do next. I may even get it kitted up. This is the way I used to be. This was before I started designing, but I get my project finished and I'd look at that and I'd be like, no, that's not what I want to do next. And so I would find something else. But right now I have at least 5 different things that I'm stitching on or needing to get finished, and it's driving me nuts. But so I'm stitching on a couple things for this new project that we're working on. I'm stitching on my other blue house, and I'm stitching this one. I don't know what it's going to be called, and I'm not really sure what it's going to look like when I'm done, but I'm branching out, and this is not DMC. Everything I do has been DMC, but this one's not. So I wasn't thinking, and some of that thread is not color fast, so this will not be dyed. I should have dyed my fabric before I started, and like I said, I didn't think, which I got him started, and that leads into the other thing that I've been doing, and it was really exciting for me. I'm sure others are going to be like, oh, well, that's a normal occurrence around our place, but I had never been to any type of stitching gathering. I don't know anybody else who stitches. I never get to just talk to people about my stitching, and you know, everybody's used to seeing me sitting there with my needle and thread, but they don't really understand it. So, and this is not easy for me because I'm not one to put myself out there and start. I never started something in my life, I don't think. But there's this little shop in Kyoto, Iowa, which is just 20 minutes from here. And it's called Fiddle Dee, and it is the sweetest little shop. And I talked to her about possibly starting a sit and stitch. And she's got a back room where she does different things like that. She has like a maker's space type thing once a month. I'm not sure what she said she called it. She has painting classes. She has a lady come in and give painting classes. She does stamping and card making classes, all kinds of different stuff. And her little shop is all found, repurposed. It's just full of fun stuff. You never know. Every time I go in there, I find something new that I think I need to bring home, which that's going to stop. But but we decided, she thought that there was a need in the community for something like that. And so we had our first sit and stitch on Saturday, and it was so fun. I think was there 12 or 13 people showed up. I think I knew 2 of them. One was a homeschool mom that we get together with some, and she crochets. And so the sit and stitch was for all kinds of needlework. It didn't have to be cross stitch. And so that made it fun too, because there were a lot of different, there was quite a bit of cross stitch.
I liked it because I got a bunch of stuff brought home to me.
Oh, I brought you home donuts. Because they had donuts. Anyway, there was crochet and lots of cross stitch, and a lady with her rug hooking it was absolutely beautiful. And then she shared some pictures of some things that she has made, and oh my goodness, were they gorgeous. And that's something I've always wanted to learn to do, was rug hooking. So she was rug hooking. Another one was doing rubbings. I'm not for sure what she was doing. She was the owner's mother, and she was making name tags for the shop is what she was doing, but I should have paid closer attention to what she was doing. She also brought some cross stitch that she does. And I know the lady beside me was all excited because she's going to the Primrose Cottage retreat, and I can't wait to hear about that. I've never been to a retreat, and probably, I don't know if I'll ever get to one, but she was excited about that. Her mom had bought tickets for them to go, and she does some of her own designing too, so that was fun. We got to talk about that. And another lady was cross-stitching on canvas, and a lot of Aida cloth. There was a lot of stitching on Aida. And another lady had brought, it was the most beautiful piece of embroidery. And she had gone to a garage sale, and she says, I just bought this box of old linens. And she says, I didn't really pay much attention to what was in it. Brought it home, and it sat in the box forever. And she says, just the other day, I thought, I probably should go through that box of linens. And she said, the very bottom of the box was the neatest embroidery, and it was huge. It was great big, and it was simple, and it was a farm scene, and it was only like half done. So she was going to finish that, and I can't wait to see that done too. But the sit and stitch was fun. We really enjoyed it. And we are going to meet again in July. We thought maybe we'd try and do a monthly get together. So that's exciting for me. I'm sure it's not so exciting for others, but I really enjoyed that. And so moving right along, because we've got to get this done. The only other thing I had to share was, like I said, when I go to Fiddle Dee, I find things that I think need to come home with me. So while I was there Saturday, she also serves lunch at her little shop, and oh my goodness, she had, it was a Saturday, so she was kind of almost done with everything she had for the week. But she had chicken salad sandwiches, and they were delicious, and some grapes, and she sells different teas. And I've never liked tea. Never liked tea until just the last couple of years. I've tried to drink herbal teas, and I do enjoy them. Hers were iced, and oh, I don't like iced tea, but they were herbal teas, so I tried. I asked my friend that was there, I said, which one should I get? Because she likes to drink different teas, and she says, you need to get the mint one. The mint ones are always good, and it was delicious. But I can't get to fiddle-dee-dee every day to get a glass of fiddle-dee-dee, to get a glass of tea, so I came home and I thought, I have mint growing out of my eyeballs out there because it just takes over. And I do use it. I pull it up and put it in the chicken coops, because I like to put it in their nesting boxes, and it keeps some of the bugs away, and it makes it smell a little better in there, and they like to peck at it, and it's good for them. So I do use it, but I have so much of it. So yesterday I thought, you know what, I'm gonna try, and I made my own mint tea, and it's not as good as fiddle-dee-dee's, but it is good. And so I'm now going to be drinking mint tea a lot this summer.
That's so nasty.
It's good for you. It's very healthy, and it's very refreshing. But anyway, this is what I brought home. I love boxes, and I know I've shown boxes before, and one of these days I'm going to finish a box so I can share it, but I haven't gotten that far yet. This one's a little big for finishing, and it needs some cleaning, but it is chippy and old and really cool. I love the hardware on these old things. And it's got a clasp, and when I opened it up and saw the lid, yeah, that's coming home with me. Look how it's dirty. Yeah, it needs some TLC, but I just, look at that. I just love the way that's beveled. And yes, it is old, and it is dusty and dirty. I don't smell it. You smell things. I don't smell things. But anyway, that's my haul. I haven't been on here. We haven't been here for a good month, and this is my haul. So I've done well. I don't, that was loud. I don't need anything. I don't need to go buy stuff, but sometimes you just have to. And so Drew has one thing to show real quick. Don't ya? My mom texted a little while ago, and she says her friend of hers was getting rid of things, and she says,
and she watches our Flosstube, so hi, Grandma.
Oh yeah, Grandma watches the Flosstube. So her friend had a bubblegum wrapper chain and wanted to know if anybody would want it. So my mom thought, yeah, I know who would want it. So Drew wanted to share the bubblegum. Look at this. Is anybody familiar? I'm sure you are. Some people have to be. The bubblegum wrapper chains. We have yet to take this out and figure out just how long it is.
Did she do this all herself?
I don't know if she did it all. And not only did we get the bubblegum wrapper chain, we got a box full of bubblegum wrappers. And a lot of them have already been cut in half and folded up, and they're just ready to be put on the chain. Whether or not we get that done, I don't know. But I remember making these when I was a little girl. I don't know whatever happened to mine. I do have one that I started a few years ago, just like 2 or 3 years ago, because I thought, and I don't know what happened to mine, and I remember doing that, and it was fun, and I want to try it again. And so I do have a short one in there. I do not have one. I never had one this long. Never. But Drew thought it was cool, and he wanted to share. So yeah, look at all these bubblegum wrappers. There's a lot of wrappers in there. These are all newer wrappers.
Yeah.
I remember doing it, and see, there's so many of them that are already folded up and ready to be, I guess I should show you, not the kitchen. So these wrappers are not as, although Drew had not heard of some of them that are in here.
I love juicy fruit.
A lot of juicy fruit, a lot of Carefree. Fruit Stripe, remember the Fruit Stripe gum?
That's rude.
Did you remember the Fruit Stripe gum? Drew didn't remember that. Just a lot of them. So anyway, Winter Fresh. Remember the Winter
That's what I
Fresh?
got right now.
The one I did, I used
There it goes.
blackjack and clove, and seems like there was a couple others. Those
There
old
was,
gums
yeah.
that I remembered chewing. I don't even know if you can get those gums anymore. I found them on Amazon, but I don't know. I suppose you can still find them in some places. Here's an old one, Beeman's. Remember Beeman's gum?
I've had that.
You've had Beeman's?
Gross.
No, it's good. You guys don't know what's good. Okay. Anyway, anything else that you want to share?
Nope.
We are at some point, he's going to cut in here and share. I have had people ask about this cabinet up here on the wall. And so Drew did a little, he had me stand up there and talk about it so I could share about it. So I could show you and tell you where it came from, and obviously what it's used for. It holds spices. Yeah, because we're in the kitchen. So that will be in here at some point. I'm not sure where he's going to cut it. Okay, so this cabinet here, I guess you can see it in our videos, parts of it anyway, because I've had people ask about it. So I said I would try and talk about it. And don't look at the dust. I haven't dusted in some time. Anyway, this is an old cabinet. Well, I don't even know. I got it at Goodwill a long time ago. It was brown. Brought it home, painted it, scuffed it up, used some brie wax on it, and it's hung up here on the kitchen wall ever since, for a long, long time. And it's got glass here, and I just covered it with some fabric. I was in a bright mood when I did that, obviously. I also made this little chicken out of that same fabric. She was cute. Anyway, I just keep spices in here. It's just a handful of spices. I've got tons and tons of spices, more than I could ever use. But it is very handy. I love it. And this, of course, is hand embroidered, and it is a Lori Brecklin pattern. And I can't tell you what the name of the pattern is right now. If I remember, I'll put it down in the notes. She has some really fun, very primitive embroidery patterns in her Etsy shop. And I think the frame came from, I'm guessing, Amazon. I'm not sure. I think it came from Amazon. And I stitched it and left it in the frame. And just, I don't know if that's the way you're supposed to do it, but that's what I did. And I think it's stitched on Osnaburg. That's what it looks like. I can embroider on that, but I can't stitch on it. Don't ask me why. I wish I could. But anyway, that's my cabinet. I thought I would share where he's going to cut it in. And
Right there.
I am going to try and be back next week with another short one.
It's not gonna work, I'm telling you now.
Well, we're going to try. But we've got camping. We're going on a big camping, not big camping, but we're going on a camping trip. We're leaving Thursday. We'll be home Sunday. But we're going up north and by my sister-in-law and brother-in-law's place. So we'll be gone for 4 days, and then of course next week is the 4th of July in there. So we're gonna try. I'm gonna try to get back next week because I still have things that I haven't shared that I've posted, and hopefully get back on schedule. But thank you everybody for commenting. I need to go back in again. I haven't been good at that here recently either. See if there's any comments I haven't responded to, and if there are, I apologize. I am so sorry. I will do that. And what else is there? Like and subscribe.
Turn on bell notifications so you get notified every time we upload.
Turn on the notifications so you get notified every time we upload. I think I said that backwards last time. I don't know. As you can tell, I am very old. I don't know what I'm doing. But so that's what Drew's for. He helps me. He says I'm ancient. Not quite, but I'm getting there. So thank you so much. I love the comments. I try and I try to respond to all your comments. I appreciate everybody that buys a pattern, everybody that gives great feedback. Anybody ever needs anything, please don't hesitate to contact me with a pattern. I will do everything I can to help. And I think that's all for now. Everybody have a great week, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.